Okay, what's up, everybody? Dan here, and this is For Your Mental Health, weekly version. I decided that I wanted to bring more of the For Your Mental Health stuff onto my YouTube channel, and so this is me doing that, putting out hopefully one a week to start out with, a weekly For Your Mental Health video to kind of just keep the conversation going. I've done some videos in the past and I have long breaks, so I really want to keep these continuous throughout the weeks, and be able to put out more content for you guys, and for myself. Let's try to get this conversation going on a weekly basis and really engage each other even more than we normally do. So I think that's going to be really cool. So today's For Your Mental Health Weekly, number one, is going to talk about something that actually has affected me recently that I was a bit surprised by. You get to being a person who walks a lot, myself. I've never owned a car in my life, so I spend a lot of time walking, biking, using public transportation, all these different modes of movement throughout my daily life. And, I never realized, but it does kind of put me out there in a way that most other people are not as affected by. Because, if you have a car, you are, protected by the car, per se. You get to drive in it and put your windows up and just look straight forward, and some people even have tinted windows so you can't even see what's happening inside of the car, like they're that secluded from the rest of society. And so I've never been that way. I've always been very out and about, proud of who I am, wanting to just enjoy my world, enjoy my space, look around me and be seen as well. I do put myself out there in that way. But it wasn't until recently that I saw the negatives of that, unfortunately. And so, wearing a certain type of t-shirt, like a band tee, or, some type of like television show or a movie, something kind of nerdy, geeky on your shirt, I've done that many times. Or wearing a hat that has to do with like professional wrestling or anime or movies or TV shows, gaming, something like that. It's something I do on a fairly regular basis. But it wasn't until recently where I really felt the negative effects of that, like I mentioned before. It's disheartening to have someone, say something derogatory towards you as you're walking down the street. While I was just going grocery shopping and, wearing my Power Ranger shirt, my, CM Punk cap, had my hair in a ponytail, had my glasses on. I was very casual. I wasn't trying to impress anybody. I was just being me, But that made me, I guess, a perfect target for some, teenage girl in the car with her friends. So, her to call me out and say something mean to me because of what I was wearing was detrimental to my mental health. I mean, I wasn't sure what to do in that moment. Do I keep going? Do I keep walking? Do I actually stop and try to engage with this person? And do I, start swearing at them and being all just kind of, up in arms, angry about what just occurred and how dare they say this and all this stuff. And, I didn't want to do that, honestly, but I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with the situation in that moment. So, I just basically heard what she'd said about what I was wearing and how that made me appear to her with her derogatory term towards me. And I just kind of kept walking, never really wanting to continue that conversation with this young aged girl in the car with her friends. So I just kind of kept walking. I had my mask on, per the usual. And I just was like, I don't want to let her steal my joy away. But it was hard. It was really hard to deal with that and to have someone make a derogatory remark towards you just because of what you're wearing and how you look and all these different things. And I realized they're young. I realized this is coming from someone who is not mature, to the extent where she would double check her thoughts, like actually second guess what she's thinking and what she's going to say before she says it, right? So I get that. But that doesn't give her an excuse. Hopefully one day she'll be able to learn the lessons of empathy and knowing what it's like to be in my shoes. I know a lot of women, they get catcalled in the streets by men, and you hear a lot about that, and that is a problem for sure. But it happens, to guys too, at least from my perspective, as well. If you're walking down the street and you're judged in some way, it can be very painful to have to hear these comments about what you're wearing, how you look, your appearance. Guys are affected by that too. And I just, want to make sure that's something that is known to everybody out there. So, if you're feeling these types of feelings, if you're hearing these different derogatory terms thrown at you on the street by random people, I'm with you. I hear that, and it's awful. And those people should, learn to be nice, be kind, be empathetic, know what it's like to be in that person's shoes, because they could be dealing with something that the other person just doesn't know about. And so because of that, you have to be kind. You never know what someone's going through, right? So because of this, it's so vitally important to treat each other with respect, with dignity, and I get sometimes people make fun of each other. It's kind of like a fun little ha 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 moment with your friends, but if it's someone you've never met and they just go out of their way. They go out of their way to throw something at you that's derogatory, that makes you feel like you're nothing, to put you down. I mean, there's no excuse for that. There's absolutely no excuse for that. So if you've ever felt anything like this in your own life, I'm here with you. You're not alone. There are other people that have suffered this sort of trauma as well. And, it's a shame. It's a shame that people out there are like that. And that don't censor themselves when they could. They could even think those thoughts and not even say anything. But the people that do decide to go out and go after people like that in some weird way is concerning, is deeply concerning for sure. And maybe it has to do with something in their own life. The person that's throwing the barbs, maybe they've got issues themselves that they have to work out internally before they can, get to that point. So, my wish is that they get to the help that they need, so they don't have to feel the need to be, so out and upfront about their the things they don't like about other people, and they should look to themselves and see what they don't like about themselves, and maybe change that and see if that can make a difference to them. So this has been episode number 1 of the For Your Mental Health weekly show here. I might try to turn it into a podcast. I've got my little audio recorder here that's recording the audio separately, so maybe I can try to put this into audio podcast form as well. That would be awesome. And start doing that too. So just want to get out there weekly, get more engaged with you guys, and really try to move the conversation forward. So if you like what you've seen today, if you can relate, post a comment down below. Let's talk about what we've been through, and we can help each other out and just make it easier on everybody, going forward. So thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, follow your instincts and peace out from the weekly show. Sayonara.